Okay, Janet from St. Louis said, if I was to meet my past self, who do I think would cry more out of happiness, past me or present me? Definitely past me. Like, I cry of happiness all the time, especially recently. Like, my go-to emotion is cry. Stressed, happy, sad, whatever. I'm already in tears. I drop a cracker on the floor. I'm like, oh my God, I dropped my cracker. But I feel like there was times past me really didn't think I was going to be happy. Like, I just grew up with like divorced parents and not a lot of money, and I always had to work like 5 days a week in like restaurants and did all these things that, like, you know, as a teenager, as a kid, you shouldn't have to do. And there was lots of times where I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get out of this. Am I going to be successful? Am I going to have money? Am I going to be able to like stably like live on my own? Like, there were times I really didn't believe that. And I think past me would cry to see just where I'm at now and how much hard work I've put in. And I think past me would be like sobbing. Jennifer from Hartford said, how did you get signed to a label? Were they looking at you before Fingers Crossed? There were some labels that were looking at me pre-Fingers Crossed, even when I released Back to Friends. You know, it's kind of a bit of a process. Like, somebody doesn't just email you and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna sign. Like, you know, you meet them after a couple months, you get to know them, people at the company. Like, it's really important. You know, if you didn't do that, or you're not going to, please do that. It's really important you know the people you're working with and you trust them. But a lot of people reached out during the blow up of Fingers Crossed, but it hadn't been released. Like, when we were teasing it on TikTok. And then after it was released was when I kind of met with everybody. And when I met with Island and Republic, I just really felt like I connected with them and I loved the people. I feel like a family with them, and it seemed like the best fit for me as an artist and as a person. And thankfully, I love them all. They are amazing. They're so passionate about what they do, and I'm so grateful. Tanya from Toronto, Ontario says, where's the furthest place you've been and gotten recognized on the street? Maybe London, England. Yeah, that's probably like the furthest place I've been. But yeah, middle of London. I think I was on the tube and somebody was like, oh my God, are you Lauren Switzer Smith? And I was like, not me being known in England. Like, that's crazy. Like, when you get recognized in your hometown, you're like, okay, you know, I'm talked about in the hometown. Like, I went to school with a lot of people. Like, you know, there's a lot of word of mouth that could be going around about you. But when you're like smack in the middle of a country that you don't live in, that is just so crazy and wild that people even know who you are.